Have you ever wondered how much you really have control over your health as the years pass? Have you ever wondered if those little daily habits that seem insignificant can actually be the key to your well-being tomorrow? If you never paid much attention to this, maybe it's time to look at this reality head-on. Time does not wait for anyone, and we often only realize the importance of our health when something is no longer as it should. And for men above 50, there's a point that few speak, but it can determine not only the quality of life, but also self-confidence, and even the joy of living, the prostate. It may seem like a small detail, a body part, that almost never gets attention. But the truth is that this small gland directly influences its energy, its disposition, and even its mood. The problem is that many only realize this when they begin to feel discomfort, difficulty sleeping without interruption, a drop in vitality, or even that constant feeling that something is out of place. And then comes the big question. What can you do to prevent your health from wearing out of time? How to ensure that you remain strong, confident, and without fear of facing every new day? Today we are going to talk about it, but not in a technical and distant way. Let's go straight to the point, with truths that few have the courage to say. If you have already passed 40 and want to prevent yourself, or if you already feel that your body is giving signs of alert, stay with me until the end. Because what we will reveal here may be what was missing for you to understand what really makes a difference. And more than that, let's talk about solutions. Simple, practical changes that make a difference, and what you can start to do today to ensure that your health is in your control, not the other way around. If you believe that faith and action walk together, declare, "I have faith," in the comments. The big mistake many make is to think that this does not affect them. They think it's just older people. You can push with the belly, but here comes the signs. Wake up several times at night to go to the bathroom. That feeling of pressure at the bottom of the abdomen, an inexplicable fatigue, and the worst part, uncertainty. The fear that this can be something more serious. The anxiety of not knowing if tomorrow will be better or worse. And believe me, this doubt alone begins to undermine trust. But here's the truth. You have much more power than you think to reverse it. Your body responds to what you do daily, in the choices you make, what you eat, the way you move, and believe it or not, even to the frequency with which you release the accumulated tension. Yes, we are talking about the importance of regular ejaculation, a subject that many avoid, but has a direct impact on prostate health. It's not just about pleasure. It is about keeping your gland working properly, avoiding congestion that can lead to inflammation, discomfort, and even more serious complications. And do you know what is worse? Many people neglect this until the problem becomes too big to ignore. But you don't have to wait for that point. You can act now. Small daily habits, food adjustments, specific exercises, all this can make a gigantic difference. Best of all, without major changes or interventions. The secret is to understand how your body works and giving it what it needs. If you believe that even the biggest challenges can be overcome, write "I have hope" in the comments. Now tell me, how many times have you ignored signs of your body thinking it was nothing? The discrete pain that comes and goes, light discomfort you push under the rug, small changes that because they seem insignificant are being left for later. But then it's all weeks, months, years, and suddenly the problem has already settled. This is how it starts. Silent, subtle, and only when it becomes a real nuisance that people decide to pay attention. But often, it is no longer so easy to reverse, and that is why this subject cannot be left for later. Because the good news is that the solution can be simpler than you think. The right diet, the right movements, the right stimuli. All of this can keep your prostate healthy and working well without mystery. But the key is consistency. It is commitment. And above all, it is understanding that self-care is not optional. Now stop and think. When was the last time you really worried about your health before a problem appeared? When did you take a preventive attitude, not just reactive? Most people only move when something is already wrong. But what if you could prevent it from reaching this point? If you could make sure your body remains strong, healthy, and full of energy for much longer? If you believe that God never leaves you, and scream, "I trust God," in the comments. What comes now can surprise many people. Because when we talk about prostate health, the first thing that many think is in medical examinations. And yes, they are essential. But what few say is about the impact of small daily actions. The way you take care of your body, of the foods you put on the plate, of the time it dedicates to move, and yes, of the frequency you keep your prostate active and free of harmful accumulations. And here's something that maybe no one told you. Masturbation can be an ally. Not as a simple mechanical act, but as a tool to keep the prostate working correctly. When you release this tension regularly, it prevents waste from accumulating, improves circulation, and reduces the risk of inflammation. And if you think this is irrelevant, know that studies have shown that men who maintain regular sexual activity may have a lower risk of developing prostate problems. Now, if you're one of those who thinks, but that shouldn't make so much difference, he thinks again. Because we are talking about something that can directly influence your quality of life, your comfort, your energy, your disposition. And as much as it seems like a small detail, believe me, the difference can be gigantic. If you believe the best is yet to come, write "I believe" in the comments. And believe me, this is just the beginning. Because when we talk about the health of the prostate, there is a lot more that needs to be said. Many myths that need to be broken. Many information that can transform the way you see your own body and care for it. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the time. Now I want to know about you. What has caught your attention so far? Did any of this information change your perspective? Did something make you rethink your habits? Share in the comments. And if you want to make sure you won't miss any content like this, you already know what to do. If you feel your victory is coming, write "I trust God" in the comments. And now, let's go even deeper. Now pay close attention. What we will reveal below may be the difference between a full life and a life of limitations, between quiet nights of sleep and endless toilet going, between vitality and constant tiredness that seems to have no explanation. The truth is hard, but it needs to be told. If you don't take action now, your body may charge a high price in the future. And when this price comes, it doesn't come slowly. He appears as a silent warning, which soon becomes a problem that steals his peace. First, it's just a light discomfort. Then it begins to disturb your day. Suddenly, you no longer sleep as before. You don't feel as strong, and even your trust begins to wear out. And the worst, many people only realize the gravity when they have already lost control of their own health. But you don't have to wait for it to get to that point. And here is the great truth. Most people could avoid serious problems if they knew what we are about to reveal now. Simple habits, but make all the difference. Small changes that can ensure that you remain strong, willing, and confident. And we are not talking about complicated solutions or expensive medicines. We are talking about daily choices that can protect your prostate and transform your health. And for those who think this is not relevant, here is a frightening fact. About 70% of men over 50 have some kind of prostate problem, and most do not even realize until symptoms are out of control. This means that every 10 people reading this text now, 7 may already have a problem developing. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you love. And if you think this can't happen to you, stop and reflect. How have you treated your health? How do you care about your body? Because the truth is that time does not forgive. What you do or stop doing today determines how you will live the coming years. And if you do not take the reins of your health now, you may end up facing a future of difficulties and limitations. If you feel you need this change, write "God is faithful" in the comments. Now stop and imagine something for a moment. You wake up in the middle of the night, feel a strange nuisance at the bottom of the abdomen. It goes to the bathroom, but the feeling is not past. The next day, the same thing. After a few days, discomfort increases, and you begin to notice that your energy is no longer the same. And then comes the fear. Is it something serious? Should you have paid more attention before? Does it still have time to do something? This scenario happens with thousands of people every day. The difference between suffering and who avoids these problems is in a simple detail: action. Those who take the right measurements early are more likely to live without worry, but who ignores the signs can end up dealing with irreversible consequences. And the good news is that you have the power to choose. The choice between ignoring and paying the price later, or acting now and protecting your health. And if you got here, it has taken the first step. You already know more than most people. Now the only thing missing is to put it into practice. And one of the most effective ways to keep your prostate healthy is something that almost no one speaks: regular ejaculation. This is because it helps to eliminate toxins, maintain active circulation, and prevent the accumulation of substances that can cause inflammation. It sounds simple, but it can be one of the most natural ways to keep your body functioning as it should. If you trust that God is preparing the best for your life, write "I trust" in the comments. But beware, this is not everything. Regular ejaculation may be one of the factors, but it does not solve everything alone. What you eat, how you move, and even the stress level you carry have a direct impact on your health. And one of the greatest prostate enemies is something that many people consume daily without realizing the evil they are doing. Sugar. Excessive sugar contributes to silent inflammation in the body, and inflammation is one of the biggest causes of prostate problems, as well as being one of the factors that accelerate aging. Worse, sugar does not only affect physical health, but also mental health. Tiredness, lack of energy, difficulty of concentration. All this can be directly linked to what you eat. So if you really want to protect your health, start reducing sugar and add more anti-inflammatory foods to your routine. Tomatoes, green tea, walnuts, olive oil, all of this can help keep your prostate healthy and functioning in the best way. Small changes that can mean more life with quality. And now, here's something that can change everything to you. There is an exam that can detect prostate problems before they become severe. It is called PSA and can identify changes that indicate inflammation or even a higher risk of cancer. Unfortunately, many people leave this exam too late, but those who act early can avoid huge suffering in the future. Don't wait. Send to 3 WhatsApp contacts and write Amen. Today God will open the right doors for you. And if you think you're too early to worry, think about it. Prostate cancer is one of the most common in men over 50, and the worst, it can develop without symptoms at the beginning. Many people only find out when the disease is already advanced. But those who do regular exams are much more likely to detect early and treat time. Now tell me, how many times have you heard about the importance of this care and left it for later? How many times did you ignore that discomfort, that passing pain, thinking it was nothing? The truth is that your body speaks to you all the time, and ignoring these signs can be expensive. If you believe God never fails, write Amen, I believe, in the comments. And before you finish, here is something no one tells you: the emotional and psychological impact of a healthy prostate. Yes, because when you feel good physically, your trust increases. You feel safer, more willing, happier. The opposite is also true. Prostate problems can affect not only your health, but also your self-esteem, your energy, and even your relationships. So the choice is yours. You can keep ignoring the signs, hoping that everything is fine alone, or you can take action now. Small habits, regular exams, attention to your body. What you do today defines the future you will have tomorrow. If you believe that God has something grand reserved for your life, write Jesus, I trust you, in the comments. And now tell me, which of this information was the most impactful for you? What will you start to change from today? Share in the comments, because this can be the first step to a healthier and worrying life. And remember, do not keep this knowledge just for you. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it, because taking care of health is not a luxury, it is a necessity. And the sooner you start, the greater your chances of living more strength, energy, and tranquility. Now get ready, because what comes next can change everything. Now if you think you've heard enough, think again. What comes next can be even more impactful than anything we've said so far, because there is something silent, sneaky, and it may be developing inside your body right now without you having the slightest idea. And the worst, when symptoms appear, it may be too late. Yes, we are talking about benign prostatic hyperplasia, HPB, a condition that affects most men over 50. At first it seems harmless. You start to go to the bathroom more often. Night feels a slight discomfort, maybe a weaker urinary jet, but what begins as a small discomfort can become a nightmare. Imagine having to go to the bathroom every hour, feeling that you can never completely empty the bladder. Imagine the frustration of waking up 5-6 times at night, unable to sleep well, accumulating tiredness, irritation, and exhaustion. Now, what no one tells you is that HPB can lead to even more serious problems. Urine that is not correctly eliminated can cause infections, forming bladder calculations, or even leads to a complete urinary retention, a total block that can be extremely painful and require emergency intervention. And do you know what is the worst mistake people make? Think this is normal. Many men accept these symptoms as part of aging, as if it was something inevitable. But the truth is that there is a solution. You can act now to prevent this condition from destroying your quality of life. The problem is that few people talk about it. If you feel you need to change your habits to protect your health, write I have faith in the comments. Now pay attention, because the information you will receive can be decisive. The first thing you need to understand is that your body is always sending you signals. If you realize changes in your urinary routine, you feel discomfort in the pelvic region, if you have inexplicable pain on the bottom, don't ignore it. This may be a warning that something is wrong. And here comes the great truth that no one speaks. If you take care of your prostate now, you can avoid it all. And no, that doesn't just mean taking medicine. It means making small changes that can completely transform your health. For example, did you know that lycopene, rich foods such as tomatoes and watermelons, can help reduce abnormal prostate growth? What green tea contains antioxidants that protect prostate cells against inflammation? Can exercise regularly reduce the risk of hyperplasia and even prostate cancer? The problem is that most people only find out when they are already suffering, when the bladder no longer empties as before, when the pain has already become constant, when uncertainty begins to weigh on the mind. And worse yet, many men leave their sex life aside because they begin to feel that something is wrong. And here is a tough truth. Prostate problems can destroy your trust and affect your relationship in ways you can't imagine. If you trust that God has a plan for your life, write "I trust" in the comments. Now imagine this. You are in an intimate moment with your partner, but something seems different. You do not feel the same force as before. Your wish is no longer the same. And deep down, he begins to wonder, is there anything wrong with me? This does not happen overnight. It is a slow wear, which often begins in the prostate and spreads to other areas of your life. And if you do not act, you can reach the point where your own identity as a man begins to be questioned. And here is the question. Do you prefer to wait for this problem to get worse or prefer to take action now? If you have come this far, you already know that prostate health is not just about urinating well. It's about living well, about maintaining your energy, your vitality, your trust, and above all, about not letting something that could be avoided steal your quality of life. If you believe God never fails, write "Amen, I believe" in the comments. Now here's what you need to do. Smart food. Avoid processed foods and increase the consumption of cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli and cauliflower, which help reduce inflammation. Move. Exercise are essential to maintaining healthy blood circulation and reducing the risk of hyperplasia. Reduce stress. Chronic stress increases hormone production that can impair the prostate. Techniques such as deep breathing and meditation can help. Keep an active sex life. Regular ejaculation helps to avoid accumulation of toxins in the prostate and maintains the healthy flow of secretions. Regular checkups. Routine exams are key to identifying problems before they become severe. And now, a revelation that can surprise you. There is a silent factor that may be sabotaging your health without you realizing it. The sedentary lifestyle. If you spend a lot of time sitting without moving, you are increasing the risk of developing prostate problems. This is because the lack of circulation in the pelvic region can cause inflammation, fluid retention, and even weaken the muscles responsible for prostate and bladder support. That is, if you spend hours on your computer, watching TV, or driving without taking breaks, your health may be in danger. But the good news is that this can be reversed. Just include more movement in your day. Walking, stretching, specific exercises for the pelvic region. Small changes that can avoid major problems. If you feel that God is preparing something better for your life, write "I trust God" in the comments. Now, if you are still here, it means that you really care about your health. And that's the best decision you could make. Because while many choose to ignore, pretend nothing is happening, you have chosen to know the truth. And the truth is this: you have the power to decide what your life will be like in the coming years. You can choose to ignore these signs and risk facing serious complications. Or you can choose to act now and ensure that your health is under control. The choice is in your hands. If this message made sense to you, share it with someone who needs to know it. Do not keep this knowledge just for you, because maybe by sending this message to someone, you are saving a life. Now tell me, what caught you the most attention? What will you change from today? Comment below and we will continue this conversation. Because it doesn't end here. There is still much more to be revealed. If you believe that God never leaves you, write "Jesus, I trust you" in the comments. And get ready, because what comes now can be even more important than anything we've said. Now imagine the following. You are living your life normally without major worries, but suddenly it begins to notice something strange. Small signs that at first glance seem insignificant. You feel you are going to the bathroom more often than before. At night, your sleep is interrupted by a constant need to urinate. Perhaps you notice some discomfort at the bottom of the abdomen, a slight pressure that never disappears completely. At first you ignore. He believes it is just a phase, perhaps consequence of age. But the days go by, the weeks pass, and the symptoms not only continue, but they start to get worse. Now you not only feel like urinating all the time, but the feeling of relief by emptying the bladder is no longer the same. The flow is weaker. You need to make more strength to finish. And even after going to the bathroom, that feeling of weight is still there. Bothering, disturbing. This is not normal. This is not something you can keep ignoring. What is happening inside your body can be a warning sign of something much bigger than you might think. Your prostate is trying to warn you that something is wrong. And believe me, if you don't listen to these signs now, it can be too late when you finally decide to act. If you believe that God has a purpose for your life and that each choice matters, write "I have faith" in the comments. Now think about it. How many times have you heard someone say that aging is like that anyway? What these things happen? What is it normal for age? But is it really? Do you need to accept this as an inevitable sentence? The answer is no. You do not need to accept that your quality of life is deteriorating over time. You do not need to live in fear that at any time your health will fall apart. What you need is knowledge, because those who understand their own body have power over it. Maybe what you should do can avoid problems before they become crises. And if you got here, congratulations, because you are already ahead of the majority. You are already doing what many do not have the courage to do. Seek the truth. Now let's go straight to the point. Do you know what happens when your prostate starts to grow uncontrollably? This has a name. Benign prostatic hyperplasia, HPB, and it does not appear overnight. It develops quietly over the years. First, the symptoms are light. Then they begin to disturb their daily lives. And then, when you least expect it, the condition is already so advanced that damage can be irreversible. And the worst, often, HPB paves the way for something even more serious. Something that can completely change your life. Prostate cancer. If you feel you need to take better care of your health, write "I trust God" in the comments. Now take a deep breath, because what you are going to read now can be a shock. Prostate cancer is the second most common cancer among men. But here is the true terror of this disease. It can develop without symptoms for years. Yes, years. This means that when many men finally find out they have, it may be too advanced to be treated simply. And do you know what could have done a difference? Preventive tests, regular checkups, changes in food, a healthier lifestyle. But what most do, ignores. He prefers to believe that everything is fine, that if something was wrong, it would have already noticed. And it is exactly this thought that has cost lives. Now imagine for a second what it would be like to receive this news, a diagnosis that changes everything. Imagine being sitting before the doctor, hearing that now it will be necessary to face a long and difficult treatment. Imagine the impact of this on your family, on your loved ones. But you still have a choice, and this choice is right before you now. You can act before it's late. You can make small changes that can make all the difference. If you believe that God never leaves you, write "Amen, I believe" in the comments. Now maybe you are wondering, but what exactly can I do to avoid it? Here is the answer, and it's not complicated. Attention to your diet. Include foods rich in antioxidants such as tomatoes, broccoli, green tea, and red fruits. Avoid excess sugar and processed foods. Move every day. Hiking, light exercise, stretching. The important thing is to maintain active circulation and reduce inflammation. Ejaculate regularly. Yes, this is important. Ejaculation helps keep the prostate working properly and reduces the risk of toxin accumulation. Reduce stress. Chronic stress is one of the biggest health villains. Relaxation, deep breathing, and meditation techniques can help balance the body. Do exams regularly. PSA exam and rectal touch can save your life. And believe me, there's no reason for shame. There is reason for responsibility. And now, pay attention to it. The sooner you start applying these changes, the greater your protection. If you feel you need to take this first step now, write "I have hope" in the comments. But before continuing, I need to warn you about something few know. There is a factor that is destroying the health of the prostate of millions of men. Something that has become so common that no one realizes the danger they represent. The sedentary lifestyle. Yes, being sitting for long periods without moving is hurting your prostate more than you might think. When you spend hours in the same position without moving, circulation in the pelvic region decreases dramatically. This can lead to prostate swelling, inflammation, and even chronic pain. And if you think you don't have time to move, think about the time you can lose treating a problem that could have been avoided. Now tell me, do you really want to risk? Want to leave your health in the background and pay a high price in the future? Or do you want to act now and ensure that the coming years are full of energy, vitality, and confidence? If you feel that God is giving you this opportunity to change, write "I believe" in the comments. And remember, you are never alone. If it has come here, it has proven that you have the courage to face the truth. Now all that remains is to take the next step. And I ask you, what are you going to do with this information? Will you ignore and wait for the problems to appear? Or will you act now and ensure that your health remains firm for the coming years? If this message made sense to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Do not keep this knowledge just for you. Now get ready, because what comes next can be even more important than anything we've said so far. Now stop for a moment and reflect. How much is your health? How much is your peace of mind, your vitality, your ability to live without fear of the future? The truth is simple. You only have one body. There is only one chance to take care of him the right way. And every choice you make today is determining the quality of life you will have tomorrow. If you have come here, you already know that there are ways to avoid serious problems, that your prostate need not be a time bomb, that there are simple but powerful actions that can keep your body strong, healthy, and free from worries. But none of this matters if you don't act. If you read it all and keep living as before, ignoring the signs, postponing the changes, pretending that it doesn't happen to me, so everything you have learned today will be in vain. And one day, when you are in the doctor's office, listening to a difficult diagnosis, you may remember this message and think, why did I do nothing when I still gave time? But you can still avoid that. Time is still in your favor. You can still make adjustments, prevent, change habits, and protect your health. But the decision is yours. You can continue to live on autopilot, or you can choose to take care of yourself. You can ignore the signs, or you can hear your body and give it what you need. You can wait until it's too late, or you can act now. So, what are you going to choose? If you believe God is giving you a new chance, write "Jesus, I trust you" in the comments. Now make a decision. No tomorrow, not next week. Now, make an appointment to do routine exams. Start including healthy foods in your diet, live before, and moving more throughout the day. Take care of your emotional well-being and reduce stress. Keep your prostate active and functional with healthy habits. And above all, don't keep this message just for you. If this information was important to you, imagine how much you can help other people. Share with those who need to know this. Send a friend, a brother, a father, a partner. You may be saving a life. If you got here, congratulations. This proves that you care. Who wants to live better? That values your health and quality of life. Now the only thing that is missing is to act. And remember, each choice counts, each attitude matters, and your future is being built now. If you believe the best is yet to come, write "I believe" in the comments. And may this message be a watershed in your life, the beginning of a new chapter, where you take control of your health and become stronger every day. The future is in your hands. The choice is yours.